Norton Estate Planning and Elder Law Firm specializes in helping guide families through such traumatic events. They're committed to helping individuals create a personalized estate plan that meets their expectations. The firm is comprised of individuals that believe in education, maintenance, and collaboration. They believe that estate planning should focus on providing you with a plan that reflects who you are, maximizes your control during life, protects you and your wishes in the event of a disability, and provides the instructions for carrying out your legacy at your death. If you're in need of wills, trust, power of attorney, guardianship assistance, Medicaid services, or probate administration, contact their office today at 317-572-8696 or visit their website at www.estateplanners.org. Norton Estate Planning and Elder Law Firm is committed to protecting your dignity and securing your legacy. All right, we are back and continuing the conversation. So we left off with, would you date a man that is recovering or even went to prison? So, Natalie, you were going to share your thoughts.
Would I date a man? It would depend on the level of recovery. And honestly... And I'm sitting here thinking, like, would I really, if I have to think that much into it as to whether or not I would do it, I would just have to flat out say, probably not. No.
You said no?
Yeah, probably
Is that
not.
to the, being an addict or
Yeah,
both of them?
being an addict, probably.
Oh, I apologize.
Person in recovery.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, a person in recovery. Because I'm sitting here thinking so much into whether or not I would do it, I will have to just flat out say no. Have I been with someone who's been in jail? Yeah. Would I do it again? No. Looking at the camera.
To the no.
To the no.
I think that's what I felt.
Rest in peace. He gone. He went to glory too. Bless his heart. Rest
What
in
did he do
peace.
that for?
He went to glory. Bless his heart. But yeah, I wouldn't probably date someone in jail just because I've already dealt with that, and it wasn't a good experience, and so I'm not going to put myself back through that.
So you mean tell me if you met the man of your dreams and he treated you right, met all, your list, and then he says, babe, I just need to tell you that I spent 5 years in prison.
For what?
You going to say...
Would it matter?
I ain't going to... Now, I'm going to tell you this, though.
He ain't met me.
Come on.
I'm talking about you been in prison.
Come on, Sassy.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on. You've been to Miami Correction.
And I'm saying it because I'm looking
5, 6, 10.
Well, yeah, but
Okay, but go ahead.
So I had met somebody and I looked him up because this is what we do, right?
I'm a looker up.
That's why people don't want to give you their first and last name because they know that you can Google and you find out, what their history is.
Yes,
But when I've seen this long list of, it was violent crimes, strangulation and, what is that? What's that word? False imprisonment. And so when you get to the violent crimes, that's when I say I don't know if I could date you because I don't know at what. No, I wouldn't date you because I don't know at what point you're gonna turn violent towards me.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's maybe it is the level of what you've done or what you went to prison for. Because a lot of people go to prison for petty stuff.
Prison for petty stuff?
However, it's just. I don't know that. Yes, ma'am.
Listen, I heard you say something
What did
earlier.
I say?
And you said you give people the benefit
I
of the
do
doubt.
try to give people the benefit of the doubt.
But also you said, and then you spoke of the results of that.
Yeah.
And then you also said, well, I just couldn't do that. Don't compromise where you stand right now.
Yeah,
you said out the gate you wouldn't date somebody in prison.
I don't. I could.
So some people,
I try to. That's that benefit of the doubt in me gets me in trouble every time.
I understand
it does.
because you can package
because
it up.
I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't expect somebody to.
None of us are perfect. And so what we were saying earlier about just saying, okay, what is it that I have to do first? What is it that I need to do differently within myself? First is really a very important discovery that we have to have. Then I can maybe I'm ready then to determine who do I want to bring into my life because I have it established. I have boundaries. I have standards. I know exactly what it is that I'll do and I won't waver back and forth. on the real things that are important to me.
This is why probably for myself personally, staying single is best for me so that I can analyze what it is I will accept and won't accept.
Exactly.
And getting to know Natalie better, because I have found myself in being single running into relationships too soon out of wanting to be in a relationship, but they all fall apart so quickly because Natalie wasn't secure in what she needed.
And there's a common denominator there.
It is.
That's good
and
info.
it is. So,
Well, yeah, because you have those women who just cannot not be in a relationship.
Yes.
They go from, you know,
Yes.
one relationship to, you know, they jump out of one, and then,
another one.
you know, 2 months later, you just broke up with this man, and
now
now
you back.
2 months later, you engaged, and you get ready to get, but you was just engaged to the one before that.
Right,
So,
right.
no, I get it. You do have those women who cannot stand to be single. Like a man
by
defines who
themselves.
they are.
Yeah.
You know, their
Yes.
self-worth is defined by them having a man.
We can be a
Their
good pen right
self-love
there. That's
is
right.
defined by them having a man in their life. But the reality of it is when you jump from person to person like that, until you take time to heal and address those issues, they're going to resurface in this new relationship because you haven't taken that time to get you together, and you expecting somebody else to give you happiness, and they can't do it.
That is so true. And I've often wondered too. I see women get out of relationship. I'm like, dang, they got a man that quick. And I always think to no, for real. I always say to myself that there is an element of you got to be settling in a lot of areas to do that, because you haven't taken enough time to really, as Sassy said, to heal and to evaluate and figure out what come on, because I'm the common denominator here. We got to take some ownership as women to the relationships that we find ourselves in and the relationships that we draw to us. We got to take some ownership on that. And I'm not putting the men off the hook either. They got to go do the same thing. But the only people that I can control is myself.
Now, I pose that question to transparency moment. I'm currently in therapy and have a therapist. And so I pose, part of me going back to therapy recently was to deal with it wasn't even a relationship. It was a situationship. But I'm not going to put all the onus on him. There were some things within me that, you know, I needed to work out. But part of that conversation that I had with my therapist was, well, how soon should you, you know, go back to, do you sit off in the corner and take that time to heal, or somebody comes along during that process, you know, is it okay to explore dating someone else? And what I realized with my particular situation, because it was a situationship and not really a relationship, but I still cared for that person, that I would be doing myself a disservice if I went and sat in the corner and, you know, needed to heal from all this other stuff versus someone coming into my life who was ready to give me what I desired and not entertaining what that could look like. But I'm not one of those serial people who goes from relation. I think there's a difference. Sometimes you have those pauses where you come out of something and somebody comes, they're like right there. It's like, okay, once you let go of what shouldn't have been in your life, God brings you what should be in your life. But then you also have some people who are just repeat. They come out of one relationship into another, into another, into another. So that's different. So I just want to make that that distinction.
And I love that distinction. I still feel that there's still time that we got to pull back and reflect. Now, I don't know what the time frame is, but I know there has to be some time to do that and to think about what happened, even in the situation, what happened and what part of it can I look at and do differently. So I do agree with that. Definitely, I agree with that. I mean, I've been out of a relationship for almost 5 years, I think now. I was in a long-term relationship, and so I've been out of it for a long time, but I had to go sit and heal. I had to reflect on what I did, what I didn't do, what I need, what I really wanted. I had to really do that. So I'm completely and utterly single. And I have completely and utterly single.
What does that mean?
That
Tia?
means I don't have nothing going on. I ain't got no prospects. I ain't got no nothing. But here's the deal. I'm not mad about that,
because
Amen.
I had to heal. And anybody that says they can jump from a long-term relationship into something else is kidding themselves.
I agree.
I mean, it's a long journey. You got to do it. And when you heal and somebody asks, what does self-love mean? It means that you got to tell yourself some really dirty, ugly truths about yourself and how you show up and how you navigate through life. Then once you tell yourself the ugly truth, then you got to get about the business of then doing something different. What am I going to do different about this? Because I can't keep blaming everybody else. Everybody has a choice to make.
Absolutely.
Everybody. You made a choice that didn't line up with what I wanted. I'm hurt. I'm disillusioned. I'm sad. I'm mad. But at the end of the day, I got to do something different.
Yeah.
Well.
We think the healing process, and I've seen this posted on my cousin's Facebook page, and it's so true. We think the healing process is this old, beautiful, woo-side, come to Jesus. But that healing process is ugly.
It's ugly.
Because you come face to face with yourself, the enemy within, you know, and you have to be able to, and we don't want to accept our stuff.
I want it to be somebody else's fault. Yeah, they may not have done nice things or they may have hurt you. That's true. But how I take it and what I do with it going forward is the most important piece of healing. Because then when I find the man that wants to be with me and wants to do the things that I need and I do what he needs, I'm healed, I'm clean, I'm free, and I'm ready to really love somebody with my full heart and not be thinking about my hurt or he reminds me of someone else. I feel like that's the only way we can be clear on what we want as women. To answer, what is his name, DJ Jern, to answer that question about most women don't know what they want. If they don't know what they want because they have not done the work to figure it out.
That's true.
And that's just, that's my 2 cents.
What's our next question?
Okay, so our next question here is the black girl curse real? The black girl curse. Do y'all know what that is?
No, I'm going to say no.
So the black girl curse is when we think about our counterparts, we look at the statistics that black women, 42% of black women are single women will remain single. But when we look at our counterparts, they're married, they're in relationships. I mean, they're married at 25, 30, all of this stuff. And we're still hanging out here not being married. So there's a black girl curse. It's a curse over us, so-called, that we're not married. So I'm asking you guys, is that real? Do y'all think that's real? What do you think?
Go ahead.
I think if you look at the statistics that you put out earlier, I don't think it's so much a curse as it is that the numbers just aren't balanced. Especially if we're looking at it as just dating black men.
Yeah.
So, if we look at it from that perspective, we outnumber black men in this country. So it may not necessarily be a curse, as in it's just going to be.
It's the facts right now.
Absolutely.
So would you consider, any of you ladies, would you consider dating outside your race?
Now, yes.
Okay, now, yes. So that might be one of those things that first on my list, I want a black man. I won't be with a black man. Now I may be taking that off my list because I may go to someone from another race. What about you, Natalie?
I got love.
Okay. Can on my mind.
You better say that,
Yes, girl.
All right, Natalie.
Can you be picky about?
Consider dating outside your race?
Can you be picky about what race you date?
Whatever race you want. Whatever race you want.
Okay. Look, is that fair? Yeah, absolutely. I would date outside of my race. Yeah.
Have you ever dated outside of your race?
Yes, Lord. There's one race in particular I have.
Mic check. We can't hear you.
Right.
Yeah, get
I need to speak
closer.
into the mic.
So you have dated outside your race.
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Tell me something good.
I don't know if it's good.
Okay.
He African gentleman. And I found, and actually gave a couple African gentlemen a chance, and I found that they were very pushy. Very pushy. Very pushy. Did I say that already?
No, you didn't.
Okay, very pushy.
Okay, I got it now.
Very, very nice, but very pushy. He blew my phone up.
Nice and pushy.
He blew my phone up. He called me like, if I didn't follow through with something I said I was going to do, he questioned me not once, not twice, but a million times.
We do the same thing.
Do we do that though?
We spoke about it.
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead.
So maybe that was a reflection of what I've done. Is that what that was?
That's what's coming up
And
in
then
my
I had the nerve to
spirit.
get mad at him and cut him off.
Yeah.
Was that nice? That wasn't nice.
That's what's coming up in my spirit.
That wasn't very nice.
No, that wasn't very
Because
nice.
he blew. But does it count that he called me like 5 times in a row, and when I didn't answer, he called me like 1 in the morning? I ain't never done that to nobody, though.
Well, but here's the thing, though.
Yeah,
That was wild.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, maybe that may have been his personality. That may not have been linked to his nationality.
Okay.
Can we agree with that?
But that was your experience.
That was